Welcome to the class 8 students. This is the part 3 of the chapter reproduction in plants. In my previous video, I have completed till the topic of vegetative propagation by underground stem, and we have discussed how vegetative propagation can be done by natural method by underground stems such as tuber, rhizome and corm. So these three are the different types of underground stems, modified underground stems, which can give rise to new plant. Now the second type of natural method of vegetative propagation is by aerial stem. Okay, so here you can see that from this main plant, one branch has made a layering kind of thing through which a new plant has started to grow. Okay, so this is a type of vegetative propagation or natural method of vegetative propagation by aerial stem. Aerial stem means this stem is known as aerial stem, which is in the air and then again goes below the soil and then comes above the soil and forms a new plant. Okay, in certain plants like strawberry, this slender branch, this slender, very small, short, thin branch arising from the base of the stem grows and bends to touch the soil. It then develops roots and buds at the point of contact. So here it has developed a root-like structure, as a result of which new leaves are coming, and then slowly, when this plant will start to grow further, it will get cut off from the parent plant. It will get cut off from here, from the parent plant, and this plant will start to grow as a separate plant itself. Okay, so in some grasses also this thing happens. The stem grows along the soil forming roots. So this is just one example. It can continue like this, and it can continue here as well. Okay, so when the new plant is mature enough, the part of the stem, let me clear this out a bit. When the new plant is mature enough, when the new plant is mature enough, this part get cuts off from the parent plant, and then this plant grows on its own. Okay, so examples include strawberry, some grasses, mint, etc. Okay, moving on to the next type of natural method of vegetative propagation is propagation by leaves. Okay, so how does vegetative propagation takes place from the leaves? One such example is, let me write down the name for you. One such example is Bryophyllum. It is a scientific name. Okay, the scientific name, and it's the name of a leaf. This leaf is the Bryophyllum leaf, which produces adventitious buds along the margin of the leaf. So here you can see small plantlets, and they develop from small buds which are at the margin of the leaf. When the leaf falls on moist soil, the bud develops into small plantlets, and means when suppose this plant is generally on the this leaf is generally on the plant, and it has small buds like this here. Okay, very small buds, no leaves like this. Okay, now this leaf, when it falls off from the plant and falls on the ground, then these small buds will develop, and these plantlets or small plants will start to grow. The fleshy leaves, this is a very fleshy leaf, and it supplies food and water to the plantlets as they grow, and obviously it is getting nutrients from the soil, as it has fell down on the soil only. Now these plantlets will start to grow further, and then get separated from the parent plant body, and will then start to grow as a independent plant. Okay, now moving on to the next type of vegetative propagation that is by artificial methods. So till now we have discussed about the different types of vegetative propagation by natural methods, means naturally without the involvement of human beings, how vegetative propagation can take place. Next one is by artificial methods, which is done by human beings. The first first method of artificial vegetative propagation is by cutting. So cutting is a method in which a part of the stem with an axillary bud is cut from a healthy plant. So in this picture you can see that this is the plant and it is cut from here, okay, and then the top portion is planted in a different pot, okay. So what happens, this is a healthy plant and a part of the stem is being cut with the axillary bud, means these buds are known as axillary buds. So these are cut off and then they are planted in a separate pot in moist soil. So over a period of time what will happen is that roots will start to come out from here, okay, and then as roots will start to come, new leaves will also start to come, and then they will start growing as a separate plant, okay. So cutting is extensively used by gardeners for growing rose, bougainvillea and cacti plants. So rose is the most common example by which cutting method is used. Sugarcane and pineapple plants are also grown from stem cuttings, okay. Next method is grafting. So in grafting, two different plants are needed and both the plants should have different types of qualities of them, and combining the qualities of both these plants, the aim is to obtain a plant with superior qualities. So in this picture you can see that this is plant A and this is plant B. So plant A has a stem cutting, okay, and it is known as scion. I hope you can see it is known as scion, and this is plant A, this is B. It is the stem cutting. The plant A has a stem cutting which is known as scion, and plant B has a part of the root which is known as stalk, okay. After few days what we will do is we will take this A and B and we will put them together and tie them together with the help of polythene or rubber band or whatever. We will tie them together with something, and what will happen is that these two parts A and part B, they will start to grow together into a totally different plant, okay. They will merge together due to rapid division of the cells and they will start to grow as a new plant, okay. The stalk supplies, so this rooted part supplies the essential nutrients to the scion. So this part is a stem, it will grow new leaves, it will grow new branches. So for that it needs nutrients, it needs water, it needs all those things that are needed by the scion are supplied by the stalk, okay. Grafting helps in developing new varieties by combining the features of two plants. It is usually done in plants such as mango and rose. In rose it is done to get flowers of different colors in one plant. So suppose in case of rose, this scion is of one color red and this stalk is of one color pink. So when we get a new plant, the resultant plant, it will have both red and pink colored roses on one tree, okay. So this is the reason why grafting is very popular among the gardeners these days. Moving on to the last method of vegetative propagation by artificial means is known as tissue culture, okay. So tissue culture, from the name only you can understand that some culture is being done with the help of tissue. So where do we get these tissues from? from a parent plant. Okay, this is a parent plant and tissue sample is being scraped off from the parent plant, and then new plants are being artificially grown in the laboratory conditions. Okay, so this technique is known as micropropagation. Propagation means to develop new or to reproduce more plants, and from under micro conditions mean propagation means from very small plant development or reproduction of new plants is known as micropropagation. A small piece is cut off from the growing tip, and as you can see, a small piece is cut off from here, and this tissue is grown in a suitable nutrient medium. So this is the nutrient medium, and growth medium is being given to it. Agar is the growth medium, which gives nutrients and auxins which will help the plant to grow further. Okay, and the tissue is then grown in a suitable nutrient medium. It grows into an unorganized mass of cells known as callus. So here is an unorganized mass of cells known as callus, and some parts of this callus are then put in a different medium containing hormones, and these hormones will induce cell differentiation. Cell differentiation means the cells will now be differentiated to work in a different manner, means different cells will work in a different manner and will then form small plantlets, each of which will grow into mature plants. Okay, so this type of method is practiced for chrysanthemum, asparagus, orchid, etc. Okay, so this is the last method of vegetative propagation which can be done by artificial means.